is a shooter.
And the Enjoy Illinois 300 is underway.
Spin, and this shot here by Robert Thomas was a thing of beauty.
Beaten up like that. Could this go? Here's Hill. They're going to have a chance.
It's remembered simply as 13 seconds, as in how long it took the Chiefs to drive and kick a game-tying field goal in 2022 and then win in overtime. Rules changed as a result, but today the Bills wanted more. Good evening and welcome to Sports Plus. I am Corey Miller. Frank Cusimano has the night off. We'll hear from the new Blues Hall of Famers and sit down with Big Walt Keith Tkachuk. But we begin with the best weekend in pro football. The divisional round always produces drama and tight games. The best storyline was the rematch. Bills and Chiefs, both looking to shut up the naysayers. And Patrick Mahomes finally has to play a playoff game on the road. And so for tonight's main event, we go to Buffalo's Highmark Stadium. This matchup always delivers. Mahomes and Allen. Here's the biggest moment online right now. Mahomes to his tight end Travis Kelce for a touchdown. And Kelce flashes the heart sign to the suite. Yes, for Taylor Swift, but also his shirtless brother Jason having a blast. Allen trying to end that celebration. Bulldozes in for a touchdown. Bills up 17-13 at this point. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mahomes to Kelce again. KC up 20-17. Fast forward a little bit. Chiefs now leading 27-24. Bills go for a game-tying field goal with under 2 minutes left. And it's wide right. Oh, Buffalo, I am so sorry. Chiefs win by that score of 27-24 to advance to face the Ravens in the AFC Championship. Patrick Mahomes has never missed out on the AFC title game as a starter. Wild.
First off, this is a great environment, man. It really is. We did hear it all week, man, about playing a road game, and we were here to prove a point, man, and to show that we can play anywhere. And we know we're going to have a heck of a challenge this next week, but our guys are going to get ready to go and go out there and see what we can do. I mean, they were going up and down the field, and the defense said that enough is enough. They got the stop from the offense. We sputtered, and that's what it takes to be going to the AFC Championship game is full teams.
In Detroit, it was pure intensity between the Bucs and Lions. Aiden Hutchinson with the sack on Baker Mayfield. It really ramped up in the third quarter. Rashad White takes the pass, goes in for the score. We have a tie game at 17. Next possession, watch Jahmyr Gibbs cut on a dime, get into space, and he's gone. Detroit was back-to-back scores to go up by 14. Mayfield got the Bucs within 8. But then he's going to be picked off to seal the deal. The Lions are into the NFC Championship for the first time since 1991, the final 31-23. Illinois basketball has its star back, and today they looked like a possible Final Four team against Rutgers. Terrence Shannon Jr. rejoined the Illini after a judge's order, although he still faces rape allegations in Lawrence, Kansas. Shannon did not start, but it didn't take long for him to see the court today against Rutgers, and he had an immediate impact. Fast break. Alley-oop. Coleman Hawkins slams it home after the Shannon assist. Another fast break for Shannon. Again, he finds Hawkins for another slam. Champaign is going crazy. Quincy Guerrier had a big day as well. Look at this putback slam off the missed three-pointer. He had 15 points and added 11 rebounds. Second half now, back to Shannon, tough finish, and one. Then he would really blow the top off the place. Breakaway finish coming up with a monster slam to cap it off. Shannon had 16 points and 4 assists in his first game back as Illinois beats Rutgers 86-63.
Staying in the moment of what's truly important, and it's not it hasn't been the outside noises and the other people, and it's what makes this team really, really special is their ability to focus on truly the next game and winning basketball games.
Celebration time in Columbus, Ohio, as the Lady Buckeyes hung a loss on number 2 Iowa. Iowa superstar Caitlin Clark scored 45 points, but it wasn't enough to stave off an overtime defeat. The Ohio State fans stormed the court, and one of them collided with Clark as she was trying to leave the court. You see it right there. Clark had the wind knocked out of her, but said she's okay. Ohio State wins 100-92. And congratulations to Stanford's Tara Vanderveer on career win 12:03. She surpasses Mike Krzyzewski to become the NCAA's winningest coach. 30 of her former players were on hand to see the Cardinal beat Oregon State and celebrate the milestone victory. Well, the Blues are off until Tuesday, but they'll have plenty to build on after last night's shutout of the Capitals. It was a total team win. From clutch goals, a Bennington masterclass, and some solid defense, Washington only got off 18 shots. Coach sure loved what he saw.
As far as I've been here, that's been our most complete game. From top down, our forwards, our defense, our goaltending, power play, PK. There was guys played hard.
Still to come, we sit down with Big Walt. His most painful injury, what he sees from himself and his superstar sons, and why he never left St. Louis. We'll also introduce you to a bull rider who simply refuses to quit despite a life-changing diagnosis. It was a weekend of celebration for the Blues. The new Hall of Fame class was inducted on Friday night at the Missouri Athletic Club. Keith Tkachuk, Mike Liut, and the late Pavel Demitra, as well as longtime Blues PR director Susie Matthew, were honored. The stories told were legendary and the love in the room was palpable. Here's two of the honorees on their Blues memories.
You'd play the Blackhawks, it was loud, there were rivalries. There's just so many great pieces to playing there, and that rink smelt like I know it was supposed to be a circus rink, but it smelled like a hockey rink, right? They smell different, the old barns. So loved playing in that rink.
The Blues were a big part of my life. I met my husband there. All three of my children were born while I was there. And I've made millions, it's an exaggeration, but I've made so many close relationships. And it was a family, so it's like this is what a family does. They celebrate each other.
For a decade, Keith Tkachuk was a force for the Blues. He scored 208 goals and helped lead St. Louis to the playoffs 5 times. Since his retirement, he stuck around our town. He raised his talented hockey kids here and integrated himself into the St. Louis community. Now he's rightly a member of the Blues Hall of Fame. My chat with Big Walt is this week's Sunday Conversation. You hear about the trade back in 2001. What's your initial reaction? What did you know about St. Louis before you got here?
Dally Drake was a good friend of mine, one of my closest friends, and he got signed as a free agent in September or in August or something. And he said it was unbelievable here. So I knew I had a friend there. They also had Chris Pronger and Al McInnes, so it was an opportunity that I'm glad it helped. I'm glad it worked out. Larry Plow brought me in, and I can never thank him enough.
All these years later, you're still here. How easy of a decision was it to raise your family here?
It's a great place. I mean, the people is what makes it. I mean, we got so many great, wonderful friends here. You can get around anywhere here in 20 minutes. The school system is awesome, the sports, the people in general, and I'm so happy and lucky that I played here a long time, and I'll never forget it. But it was a great opportunity, and my kids love growing up here. They're true St. Louis kids. My daughter was born here, so.
There's always legendary stories of guys playing through stuff, and you were in those dirty areas a lot. What's the most hurt you've ever been when you still went out there?
Well, I got hit pretty bad in the mouth with a slap shot. That was I've never felt pain like that ever in my life, and so I had to deal with that that was about a 2-year process, and that happened in my last year. So I was in the dentist chair and the plastic surgeon chair for 2 years. Whole career, never really had any, and I wear a mouth guard, and it put a hole through my mouth guard. So I don't recommend that for anybody.
I was going to ask, now your son and Robert Thomas like to skate around with it, hanging out. Do you ever tell them about it?
They're going to learn the hard way. That's the only way you learn, the school of hard knocks.
Do you still see hockey players today like you? Skilled scorers who can score on the outside, bring the puck up the ice, and also get to those dirty areas in front of the net?
Well, they're fewer and fewer now, but they're like Tom Wilson's a heck of an example. He plays hard. I love the way the boys play. So, that's a thing that every team I think needs. It provides room for your guys who don't necessarily like that kind of game, and it's just the more skilled guys, it gives them a little more courage.
You go in tonight with the late Pavel Demitra. We know how much he meant to you. Just what made him special, first on the ice and then off of it?
Well, he was a quiet kid when I got traded here. I got traded for his 2 buddies, the 2 Slovakian guys. He was like the head Slovakian mafia guy, So I don't think he was too happy about it, but once we got to play with each other and get to know each other, we hit it off right away and had great success together.
We used the photo of you on the ice at your retirement ceremony here in St. Louis with Matthew, Brady, Taryn. They're all skating out there. Even that early, did you know you were going to have this hockey legacy?
No, not a chance. I was just happy they enjoyed playing sports. We kept them busy. They wanted to play sports. They were always practicing. But you needed a little luck. And, they worked hard. And as they got older, we were like, oh, maybe they'll get a chance to go play college hockey, get a scholarship, and continue their career. But I never thought it'd be like this. So I love watching them. It's so much fun.
What does Matthew do that reminds you of you the most?
Well, I think his body, puck protection. I feel like he's got way better vision and playmaking than I have. And I think Brady's more of a bull in a china shop like me. But Matthew will cross the line a lot. So I think the combination, both of them have some qualities.
Blues fans sitting around at a bar thinking back on players they've seen, games they've seen. Keith Tkachuk's name comes up. What do you hope they remember?
Well, I hope they, you can say what you want about the player, but I hope I treated everybody with respect. And I felt that's an important part of my upbringing in the locker room, the teammates, your trainers, the people who work the rink, the media, just everybody. And I think I did a good enough job where I treated everybody with respect and made them feel just part of the team. And that's the on ice is the on ice, but I'm more proud of, having the relationships that I built in the game of hockey.
It's not unusual to get really into a hobby when you reach a certain age. There's golf, fishing, heck, even model trains if you prefer. But Brighton, Illinois resident Sandy Sanford likes a bit more adrenaline in his hobbies, and nothing is going to slow him down. The Tale of the Sandman is tonight's Spotlight story. When Sandy Sanford's Spurs come to town, you're in for a show. The 67-year-old Army veteran has taken those Spurs near and far to pursue his passion. That passion is bull riding. And it has been in his blood for a long, long time.
14, 15 years old, got invited to a small amateur rodeo. I went, got on it, scared to death. Heart going about 150 miles an hour. It bucked about 3 bucks, 3 jumps out. It went one way and I went the other way. And it was just stuck in me then. You're grabbing onto something that weighs anywhere between 1,500 and 3,000 pounds. And it's like a stick of dynamite going off in your hand. The best way I can put it is like dancing with a crazy woman.
But on the back of a 2,500-pound bull, things can often get a bit sideways. Like one time back in Sandy's 20s.
And I got a horn in my jaw, I got a horn in my back, broke my wrist. There's a hole in my jaw. Got rushed to the hospital, they put a patch, they put a plug, what they call a plug in there, sewed it in, and I had to go back to the hospital for like 8 weeks in a row.
A lot of people would quit after that. You didn't.
No, I went and ended up riding in San Antonio, Texas. 6 weeks later, a friend of mine had to take a razor blade and cut the skin on my eye so my eye would open up enough for me to see. I made the ride.
Here we go, Sandy.
Sandy currently rides on the world's senior professional bull rider circuit, where at 67, he is the oldest rider on his tour, which makes him perhaps the oldest bull rider in the country. Oh yeah, he's also 6th in the world in his division.
I've had a streak where I rode 14 bulls in a row before I got thrown this year. You go in there and draw one, you have no idea what you're gonna get, and you do your best to make the dance. We've traveled all 24 hours for an 8-second ride, all the way to the bottom of Texas, all the way back up here, 24 hours driving for an 8-second ride.
It took me 2 seconds to go from the bleachers all the way around to the chute where he was at, being knocked out one day. I was a wreck.
Yeah.
So yes, them 8 seconds are a lot.
And 8 seconds sounds like a short period of time, but when you're in the back of that bull, that 8 seconds is like eternity.
Those moments on a bull can feel like forever, and so can those moments when you get a diagnosis from the doctor. Sandy got his news in May of 2023.
She goes, what you have is non-curable, it's only treatable, and you'll have to feel what you're gonna do.
Sandy was diagnosed with advanced cancer of the upper intestine, liver, and lymph nodes. But just like rebounding after a rough ride, he didn't hesitate to get back up.
When they said it was malignant and non-curable, I'm like, hey, bring it on, we'll go for it. We're gonna take this ride to the end. I've never been one to quit on anything, so I've got this mindset, we're gonna ride it to the end.
He's not riding this path alone either. His wife and bull riding community have been there the whole way.
My wife's been, she's been the best. The guys on the rodeo circuit, I mean, they'll tell you, when I got to where I couldn't stand, like the sun would knock me out that quick. Them guys would get in line and pay me entry fees. They would put my bull rope on my bull. They would call me, my bull would get in the chute, and even the guys in the chute and the judges wouldn't rush me. I would get in there, take my time, do whatever I had to do, and make my rides.
All right, come on, Sandy, stand up, get a hold with them feet. Keep lifting, keep hustling, keep trying, yes, sir.
Yes, you heard that right. Although he's fighting cancer, Sandy hasn't given up riding. So what did his doctor think about that?
First of all, I didn't really believe what he was saying. So it's like, I do it, like, all right, so you go and watch the fight, you know? It's like, no, I actually do it.
She looked at me like I was crazy.
There are some things that are so important to patients that if they don't have that, life is not meaningful to them. So I could see that that was that for him.
So here he is, chemotherapy every other Monday at Moeller Cancer Center in Alton, work in between, and then planning for the next 8 seconds as the Sandman.
So proud. Chemo strong, cancer strong. Lots of prayers, lots of faith, lots of hope.
The man upstairs is gonna take care of you. So don't stop, keep going forward. I mean, that's been my motto. She'll tell you that's my motto forever. I don't know what reverse is. Motorcycles don't have reverse. So and the bulls don't have reverse either. So you get in, you nod your head, you're going forward. I mean, there are good days, there are bad days. Some days are worse, but just wrap it up and go.
For us and for honestly patients who are in his shoes, a great example of how you can have a life-changing diagnosis, but live your life and enjoy your life to the fullest every day.
Yeah, I got cancer, I got chemo treatments, but I'm not giving up on anything. I'm gonna keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it to the end. And it's just not my blood to give up.
Time now for the Victory Men's Health, Frankly Speaking, and a word about a sports journalism institution. You may have seen that Sports Illustrated laid off most, if not all, of its staff this week. It signals perhaps the end of one of the standards for sports coverage in the United States. It's an all too familiar story in the journalism world these days as content consumption habits change and companies cut costs. Sports Illustrated always stood out, though. From the talented roster of writers to the legendary cover photos, SI became a part of American culture. And St. Louis got its moment in the spotlight more than a few times. That's our show for tonight. For producer Andy Mueller, I'm Corey Miller. We'll leave you tonight with some of those classic St. Louis covers from Sports Illustrated.
We are signing off for now, but don't forget